Namaste, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and I help people navigate through their awakening process. And today is going to be a June 2017 full moon energy report. I am very excited to shoot this one because this full moon is it's going to be so noticeably life-changing, transformative. It's going to help you build a new life by first building a new you. So I'll get into the specifics right now. There's a few different themes I want to cover. Number one is, like with a lot of full moons, you might find yourself pressed for time, like time is speeding up. You might just have trouble balancing your schedule, trying to fit in all the different engagements and things you want to do, let alone time for your self-care and eating healthy and all the different plans you might have for yourself. It might seem all over the place right now. That's okay. Full moons tend to bring intensity. They tend to bring speed. They tend to give you a lot of other things to kind of think about all the while this is going on. So if you feel that way, it's okay. Let's take a breath. Relax your expectations on yourself. Allow yourself to be a little bit frazzled and stressed, and just simply do your best. At the end of the day, it's all going to get done just fine. We're just adjusting to the new speed at which we go through life. Number two, and this is sort of the whole fundamental effect I believe a lot of us are going to get from this full moon. It's like a rubber band or a slingshot effect. You brave souls might look around and wonder why aren't other people feeling so chaotic, or also conversely feeling so like something's obviously going on. You can just see most people seem like business is as usual. Nothing's really going on, and you are up and down, zigging and zagging all over the place. It's the zigs and zags, the ups and downs, that's helping propel you and fuel your ascent into higher consciousness. And full moons oftentimes bring about a very contractile-like energy, where you're squeezed into all of your shortcomings, all of your problems, all of your issues, all of those deep, dark things you were hoping to kind of avoid. You're confronted with them and you're stuck to stare at them, to experience them, to feel them, to watch them play out in your reality. And you're like, oh my God, life sucks. I'm losing faith. This whole spiritual awakening thing's, it's for the birds. It's obviously not true. Otherwise, I wouldn't be feeling so down, so low. Excuse me, I'm fighting off a cold. But what comes after these tight, uncomfortable, sometimes grueling, contractile periods is you expand. While you're in here, while you're in all your muck, you're taking mental notes. You're thinking, you know what? I don't like this feeling. I'm going to arrange this so I can avoid this circumstance that provokes this. I don't like how this is playing out. It's so obviously not ideal. In fact, it's quite freaking stressful. I'm going to change this. And at the end of this contractile period, you got all these different ideas and all these different like plans. And then as you start to put them into action, you start to expand out of it. If we really, the whole idea of self-development, spiritual awakening, spiritual unfoldment, expansion of our consciousness is very nice. It sounds all positive, but in order to do that, we have to get out of our own way. We naturally, our soul is naturally expansive, naturally going this way, but we have all this conditioning that's keeping it down. It's stopping it. We're halting our own forward progress. So the full moon sometimes can squeeze us in so we can see just the folly of our ways. So we can say, you know what, I'm going to make all these changes and allow. So essentially, if you feel like you're getting beat up a little bit by the universe, that's okay. The harder you get beat down, the higher you will ascend out of that. The greater the degree of noticeable life change is going to spring out of that. It's a guarantee. It's like eventually night is going to turn to day. It's the whole spectrum. Sometimes the full moon brings that butt end of the spectrum, the problem, the contraction. But as I keep saying, the sun will shine again. You will expand again, and you're going to expand a lot. This full moon is going to help you really transform yourself as a person so much. It's often that we want things, we want goals, we want to move, we want relationships, we want new jobs, we want to find a purpose, we want all this. And the universe says, okay, well, you need to become the person naturally capable of already having this. So we're not going to just give you a job opportunity. We're going to, I don't know, cause you to have a broken leg or something so you can learn something about yourself and become more empowered, so that when the opportunity does float your way, you will take advantage of it and step up to the plate and be the person you need to be to get that new job. And even though it can seem like cruel and very confusing, it's actually a very efficient way of manifesting things. And full moons will increase the rate of your manifestation in this way. Number 3, sort of spinning off of number 2, you might find yourself doing some shadow work, reconfronting, rediscovering old issues, emotions, mindsets, habits, wounds, whatever, all old stuff that you might have truly forgotten about. But maybe you're in a circumstance where you run into an old friend, or you run into someone you knew, or a lot of people, maybe you go and you visit your, you come back to your hometown or something like that, and it will help you, all those issues that were once dormant might be triggered by the external prop, that whatever is relevant for you is going to help you become aware of that. It's common that I was just talking to someone a couple weeks ago, really, and she had moved back to her hometown. She was away traveling, doing all this real cool stuff, and she kind of knew it was coming. She's like, I'm going to be going home, and she sensed it was just because there was some unfinished business, and she was exactly right. So she was saying she met up with an old friend, and she met up with this old friend she hasn't seen for a long time, and she said she felt, as they were engaging or whatever, she felt like her old self. Like her old self reemerged, took over the new, awesome, expanded self, and she was sort of stuck with all these emotions, all these automatic, reactive thought processes, and just a general mindset. And that can happen sometime. That's a good thing. That's oftentimes why people get themselves stuck in situations they don't prefer, because those situations are exactly what are needed to help kick up all this old stuff for you to release. So in a full moon, it's common to have that sort of effect. So if it happens, that's okay. Take advantage of it. Know that whatever old stuff is getting kicked up, it's because it's time to finally release it for good. Not just think you released it like before, because you can go a while. Most people, especially normal people, have no idea what they're lugging around. They're completely oblivious, and you're going through this path where you're attracting situations, people, events, circumstances that are going to trigger all this stuff that it would have been nice if it was really as gone as you had thought. It's not, and this is actually a necessary and pretty efficient way of helping you release it and become that person, that awesome person you know yourself to be, as we were talking about in number 2. Number 3 is physical healing. There is a lot of light beaming, building in concentration all around us. You can feel it. Some of you can even see it at times, the orbs, the energies. There is something going on. There's a new energy in town, and it's affecting us big time. And it's getting to a time where it's like, if you don't want to match it, you're going to have some issues. If you don't start caring for your body in a way that's going to make it an ideal and suitable conduit for this new energy, it's not the end of the world. You're going to be fine, but you'll manifest stuff. And I'm speaking about myself in this situation. I'm sick. I've had this stupid cold. I rarely get sick. You guys watch my videos. I'm not sick very often, but I've had this cold, and it affected my voice, which is a big part of who I am and what I do. So me losing my voice, someone who makes YouTube videos every day and talks on the phone all the time with like clients and stuff, it's like a big deal. So it was something to get my attention. I also, you could probably see, I banged my head the other day. And this has, the message I gleaned from it is that I need to start balancing myself more. I'm on this road trip. Some of you are aware and follow me. I've been like traveling around the country with my family. And normally I'm a man of routine. I have like a nice balance about myself. I get up and everything's sort of predictable, and I can really keep a nice even keel. But being on the road, it's been so up and down that I've sort of lost myself. I've lost that routine. The time has changed and all that stuff. But now that I'm sort of more stable, I've already become like, it's become habitual to be a little more unbalanced than I'm used to. So the universe is saying, okay, buddy, I know you're on the road trip and all, but now you're fine. Now there's no excuses. You're going to continue in these like maybe old patterns. Well, you're going to get a cold. You're going to bump your freaking head. We're going to let you know for your own good so you can snap out of it and be healthier, therefore happier. A better conduit, as I said, for this energy, which is going to make you feel really good. So if you feel sick, if you've got some physical complications going on, it's often a sign of healing. It sometimes can also be a sign that you need to maybe make some sort of modification with your diet, or find a way to de-stress. Try to take some sort of proactive, positive course of action from whatever physical illness or problems you're going through, if any. Number 5, I think inevitably most of us are going to conclude and decide that, you know what, it really does make the most sense, both intuitively and logically now, to just let go. The law of attraction is a real thing, and it's becoming more important to live your life in accordance with it. However, it's incredibly confusing. Our ego, personality, cerebral mind, self, the way it tries to impose its will out there in the world and get what it wants and fulfill itself, it's so contradictory to the ways of our higher self, the ways of our soul, the ways of the cosmos. And it's just becoming such a source of stress by continuing to insist on embodying and acting from that old perspective. So what I'm saying is that you all can't help but want what your true self wants. Sometimes it can be scary and inconvenient to want something that seems so like out there. You can't help that want. And that want is going to bring it to you. But we get in our own way so much by trying to control the how, the when, all these expectations. And sometimes full moons come in and they remind you that you don't have to steer the car. You just have to keep your foot on that gas. And your higher self, the universe, is going to bring you where you need to be, attract the right people into your life, attract the right message into your mind, implant the right idea. It all will come in divine timing and divine harmony if we allow it. Sometimes, as I said, full moons can make you very aware of what I'm saying. It's beyond the words. It's how I would imagine a lot of your lives are going. You have goals, you want things, and then the way you would expect those things to come into your life or manifest, it's almost never even remotely close to how it actually happens. So in light of that, it's best just to let go. But that's easier said than done. We're conditioned to not let go. We're conditioned to control, but sometimes the full moon will, again, help us out in that regard. Anyways, I know I jumped around a bit, but essentially what I'm trying to say, if you take nothing else, it's that this full moon is a chance, an opportunity to reclaim and redefine you, yourself. It's giving you a chance to finally step in to the shoes that have been waiting for those feet of yours. It's like, I want to be enlightened. I want to have unconditional love for everybody. I want to be financially abundant. I want to have really good and awesome soulmate type relationships. Okay. Become the person who has all that. We, the universe, the full moon, is going to help you do that one way or another. So good luck, guys. I really have a lot of, I got a good feeling about this full moon. You might be going through some stress right now. I know I am. I'm going through some craziness. I'm not going to even get into the details. Some crazy shit happened just yesterday. I'm sick, got this head thing, you know what? But I know when things get like this, it's time to get pumped up. It's time to get excited. Whatever degree of nuttiness is happening, is that same degree is you're going to feel the expansion, man. I promise you. Just don't lose hope. Or I'll to be more realistic, because you might lose hope from time to time. Sometimes it goes that way. Don't lose hope for too long. Don't wallow. Don't choose to wallow in the lulls. You know, let the emotions of resistance come up here and there if things happen. But then, you know what? When it's time to move on and go forward and make any adjustments that you can now make based on the data you receive from whatever you're going through. Okay? You guys have it within your power to control and change and just have an amazing life. I don't think, sometimes I can gather that people aren't really aware of just how amazing of a life is within their reach. Whatever your heart wants, you're going to get one way or another. You can kind of go kicking and screaming like most of us choose to do, or you can let go. Let it happen. Let it be. Yield to the person you know yourself to be. And then the external manifestation, the success, the soulmate, the abundance, that is just automatic. Namaste.